And officials are warning residents to check furnace vents to avoid carbon monoxide poisoning.
It is life-threatening what is going on as we speak in Buffalo.
In Kentucky, more than 700 vehicles were stuck on a 14-mile stretch of I-71 after an emergency highway closure.
We were able to evacuate most by shutting down the interstate and turning them around. Now we can get some of those that are stuck northbound, but it's going to take some time.
Roughly 50 cars were involved in a deadly multi-car pileup on Interstate 80 in Ohio. Snow and ice to blame.
This is a stark reminder of what can happen when you get behind the wheel and try to drive in bad weather conditions.
At the nation's airports, thousands of flights have been canceled or delayed. On Friday alone, nearly 6,000 flights were canceled, the most of any day this year.
What we've done is to make sure our restaurants are.
Weather warnings or statements remain in place for most provinces and territories early Sunday. Thousands of customers still without power in Ontario, Quebec and New Brunswick. Via Rail canceled all trains between Toronto, Ottawa and Toronto, Montreal scheduled for Sunday. Rainfall warnings and flood watches issued in Vancouver. A blockbuster blizzard is set to spread a multitude of weather hazards and holiday travel chaos across the central and eastern United States to mark the winter solstice. As a strong Arctic cold front begins diving into the Central Plains on Wednesday and the Southern Plains by early Friday, forecasters warn temperatures could dip by 20 or more degrees within just a few hours.
Midwestern U.S. states into the Great Lakes can expect blizzard conditions from snow and strong winds, and light to moderate snowfall is forecast. Heavier snow could exceed a foot over the Great Lakes through Friday. St. Louis, Detroit and Chicago will all be hit. The big deal in these areas is not the amount of snow, but the extreme cold accompanying the snow and the extreme wind, Kynes said. Nearly 250 million Americans and Canadians are feeling the icy grip of a massive winter storm linked to at least 19 deaths ahead of the holiday weekend. More than 1.5 million people lost power and thousands of flights have been canceled since Thursday. The vast storm extends more than 2,000 miles, 3,200 kilometers, from Texas to Quebec. A bomb cyclone, when atmospheric pressure plummets, has brought blizzard conditions to the Great Lakes on the U.S.-Canada border.
Winter storm Elliott will begin spreading its snow through the northern Rockies today. From there, it is going to move to the east, where it is expected to get even stronger Thursday into Friday through the Midwest. And we could be looking at blizzard conditions for parts of the Midwest, including Chicago. So watch out. These could be some very tricky travel days as that heavy snow, rain-snow mix moves through the Midwest, down through the Tennessee Valley, and through the Appalachians. Now, for the I-95 corridor, this is going to be an all-rain event for you, but still, this is going to cause some big travel concerns for the eastern two-thirds of the country. As far as snowfall totals go, we're expecting some of our highest snowfall to fall back through the Rockies and into the Midwest before this storm wraps up by Saturday.
Wind gusts up to 50 miles per hour, and the demand to get home for Christmas. That could mean disaster, especially on the roads, where AAA estimates the majority of those traveling this holiday week will be driving.
It's not like a snow day, when you're a kid. It's dangerous and threatening. This is really a very serious weather alert here.
And you can see the snow falling, but you can also see me pretty well. Overnight, these winds are expected to pick up, and the fear is for officials that all the snow you see on the ground and lightly falling is going to blow around in that wind and bring visibility down almost to zero. So we will see what happens.
All right, Omar, thank you for that report. Now, this severe weather is triggering trouble for millions of Americans who are traveling for the holidays. We have CNN aviation correspondent Pete Montine, who is also in Chicago. He is at O'Hare International Airport, one of the country's busiest, of course. And Pete, thousands of flights have already been canceled, and this is far from over.
Just check FlightAware, Brianna, 2,300 cancellations in the U.S. so far today, 7,900 flight delays. About a quarter of all flights have been canceled here at Chicago O'Hare. Buffalo, Detroit, Orlando, Salt Lake City. The list just keeps growing by the moment. Denver tops the list right now of airports with the most cancellations. Then it's here. Then it is Chicago Midway. This is such a crucial airport for connections, though, and that's why this is going to have a nationwide ripple effect. It's a huge hub for American Airlines. It is the biggest hub for United Airlines. I went behind the scenes at United's Network Operations Center to see how they are handling this. They are trying to make it so that passengers are being rerouted through other connecting airports. They did try and tell passengers to book early and change their flights to earlier flights and not depart today as the snow hit. And at least some passengers tell us they heeded that advice.
We thought it'd be best to escape and get out just a little bit before to avoid the weather.
In Chicago, it's O'Hare. We're used to do this.
It seems kind of crowded. I mean, it's pretty intense, but
It's Christmas. We came early enough to hopefully make it, and hopefully our plane will take off today before, and we'll get out and get to Orlando to see our families.
Airlines' big advice, download their app. That is the best way to get up-to-the-moment information on your flight's cancellation or delay, hopefully not, and to get on a new flight. The other big piece of advice here is that things could get worse as the days go on. We've seen 1,900 flights canceled tomorrow. That's where the temperature here is expected to drop to a high of 3 degrees Fahrenheit, Brianna. It's going to be tough for a lot of travelers.
Yikes, 3 degrees. All right, Pete Muntean, thank you for that. I want to go to CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam. He's tracking the entirety of this storm for us. This, of course, is